We are now approaching the climax of the Kangen vs Purgatory tournament in Kangen Omega. That's been going on weekly for over a year at this point. Today I'm going to discuss the final fights and some issues that may arise. Hope you enjoy. We officially have 2 fighters remaining on both sides. For Team Kangen, Takita Oma and Wakatsuki, and Team Purgatory, Lolong and Faye. The current score of the tournament is 5 wins for both teams and 1 draw, with only 2 official fights remaining. The idea of a draw happening is becoming more and more of a reality. I personally don't want a draw. I'd rather, for example, Purgatory to win to prevent a draw, just anything but a draw, to be honest. Ways they could overcome that is, for example, Purgatory wins both their fights, so Waka and Oma lose, but to be honest, I don't think Oma's going to lose, so I don't think that's going to happen. Or it could be Waka and Oma winning against the Purgatory fighters. But on the same note, I don't think Lolong's going to lose, so we have a pretty big issue. Maybe another draw will occur, which I'll get into some theories on that later in the video, or they could add an extra fighter from both teams to have one final match to settle the score and not create a draw, because they have changed the rules throughout the tournament on multiple occasions, and I could see both Nogi and the CEO Purgatory coming to a deal to add one more fighter. Maybe Cosmo will fight for Team Kangen, maybe a fighter who already fought in the tournament will fight again. Maybe we'll get Gaolang again or something like that, someone who isn't that injured. Something like that. Maybe Kuroki will fight for Team Kangen. Maybe Purgatory, who have already mentioned they have other fighters waiting to replace possible dropouts. So either way, they have fighters around that could potentially step up for an extra fight to prevent a draw. But now let's go over who I think is going to fight and some predictions. And of course, our boy Standovic is known to be pretty much unpredictable at this point, so most of my stuff I say right now could be the complete opposite, but I have faith in what I'm saying. I've guessed a lot of the remaining fights, not really the outcomes, but who's going to be fighting. But yeah, let's get into it. So the next fight after Tarashi pretty much got clowned on by the clown himself, the King of Combat Okibo, I think our boy Lolong will stand up and walk out, and it's time for Lolong to show what he's truly capable of. Throughout the tournament so far, it has kind of been hinted at Oma fighting Lolong at various panels, and when Lolong interrupted or stopped the Nicholas vs Justice Boy fight, Oma was trying to stop Lolong from going too far, something like that. That kinda hinted at the fight, but I'm still on the idea that Lolong is going to fight the one and only Waka. Throughout the tournament, Lolong hasn't mentioned the name of Oma to the other Purgatory fighters, but he has mentioned Waka on, I believe, 1 or 2 occasions, so he's aware of Wakatsuki's power, also talking about him being a top tier in Kangen. So Lolong vs Waka is a matchup I see happening. I do personally think Lolong is going to win. I think a lot of people think Lolong's going to win whether he fights Oma or Waka. Just the amount of hype he's got throughout the tournament, it just will be a bit of a letdown if he does lose. But now to get into some fun theory time. We know the issue of a draw most likely occurring, or the possibility of a draw being almost certain at this point. But how about this? What if Waka vs Lolong is also a draw? Of course, Wakatsuki as well is a top tier fighter, one of the strongest in the verse. Lolong, of course, will be one of the strongest in the verse. Probably same tier of a fighter, so either way, it's going to be super close. But what if this fight ends in a draw, but not how you think? A lot of people want Lolong to win or think Lolong's going to win. What if Wakatsuki forces a draw by sacrificing himself some way? It'll be clear that Lolong is the better fighter or stronger as a whole, so on a tier list, Lolong by most people's standards will be above Waka, for example, like the Jaime and Drota situation. But it's not really a compatibility issue, it's more that Waka's big brain energy allowed him to force a draw. But to make Lolong live up to his hype, because if he does get a draw, it may be a little bit of a letdown for many people, including me personally. What if Wakatsuki's sacrifice is so extreme that he's not dead, but the injuries he gets during this fight are so severe, he'll actually never be able to fully recover or fight in a Kangen match or in a proper match ever again? And I think that would be a worthy sacrifice to get a draw against Lolong and, you know, make an official winner in the tournament more likely. That's my own theory I'm going to go for at this point, but to be fair, I won't be surprised if Lolong just defeats Waka in their fight. And then, let's say that actually is a draw, my theory comes to reality. The final fight will be Oma vs Faye, but why Faye? Throughout the tournament, a lot of people have been predicting who the Tiger Vessel is. Me personally went from Dongchen at the start to Nicholas, and now I've been saying Faye for a while now. There's a lot of stuff pointing to Faye being the Tiger Vessel, such as him becoming one of the Chinese fighters 2 years ago. The timeline of him joining Purgatory makes sense when the Tiger Vessel could have possibly joined Purgatory. Lolong pretty much can't be the Tiger Vessel due to him appearing in the Jota flashback when Jota joined Purgatory, which was like 10 plus years prior to the actual timeline where, you know, the Tiger Vessel should have joined. So yeah, Faye is the Tiger Vessel. If he isn't, I'll make like a Yumi appreciation video or something I don't really want to do. But yeah, Faye is the Tiger Vessel, so Nico Style versus Nico Style. And yes, the Tiger Vessel is part of the tournament shown by this panel, Purgatory representative, and then his name being question mark because they don't want to, you know, spoil it. So Nico Style versus Nico Style, Advanced Mastery versus Advanced Mastery. Demon's Bane, Ping Bong, some crazy shit's going to happen with Oma vs Faye. Of course, I think Oma's going to win that. And for example, if Lolong and Waka's a draw, Oma wins that fight, Team Kangen wins the tournament. That's my personal most wanted outcome, so I'm just going to push for that outcome. That's what I'm going to continue saying unless, you know, Lolong just claps Waka in their fight, and then of course that's not going to happen. But yeah, it is possible Lolong defeats Waka and then Oma defeats Faye, then it's over. Or Lolong beats Waka, Faye beats Oma, Purgatory wins, or Waka beats Lolong, Oma beats Faye, Kangen wins, stuff like that. That's what I think is going to happen with that. But apart from the 2 remaining fights and possibly an extra fight, we also have other stuff going on. We have Mutaba, who's being sent on a mission by the CEO of Purgatory, so remember that. We have the Kure vs Wu war that's about to occur. I'm guessing we're going to see that after the tournament actually concludes, or maybe at the same time that we get Oma vs Faye as the final fight. We have Garyuki and Kiryu's return, Kiryu being quite sus with Garyuki. So them two are going to have some involvement at some point as well. We have all the worm stuff that may be explored more when the Tiger Vessel gets revealed. And we have Joji and Koichi who are on the hunt for some worms as well. So we'll get to see them fighting. A lot of crazy shit is going on apart from the tournament itself, but I'm very hyped. The 2 fights that I'm guessing or I'm hoping will be the best so far in the tournament. Hopefully peak level fights in all of Kangen, cannot wait. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the climax of the Kangen vs Purgatory tournament. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to subscribe. As always, shout out to the people who support the channel via the Patreon. But yep, that's it guys. Peace.